A Democratic strategist has apologized for making a terrible joke about Lauren Boebert at the expense of sex workers. Take a look.
What's the meaning if Lauren Boebert, the second most popular QAnon congressperson in MAGA, what if she loses? And what job will she have? Because I don't even think shooters exist anymore. I don't think shooters exist anymore. What, Meg?
Well, I guess it might be a gain for OnlyFans. I don't know what you would do in this scenario, but I think that for symbolically to take out one of the poster childs of the MAGA movement, someone who has been an absolute disgrace to the office that she holds, would be a great feather in the cap and would, I think, cement the fact that this has been an absolute unmitigated disaster for the MAGA wing of the Republican Party.
All right, so look, on the political analysis, sure, I agree with him, but Kurt Bardella, what are you doing? what are you doing shaming people on OnlyFans? Now, again, I say this as a hater of Lauren Boebert. I do not like Lauren Boebert. I despise her. But Kurt, what was that? Now, of course, I'm going to get to his apology, which is actually pretty good. But first, I just want to say, like, comparing Lauren Boebert to a sex worker, it's just ridiculous. I disagree with that because, look, for one, sex work is real work. It's actually can be difficult work, and the workers there are marginalized for doing something that, let's be honest, there's a lot of people, millions of people consume and enjoy. I despise Boebert, but that was a sexist remark, and it wasn't cool. It was also job shaming. And again, there's millions of things that you could, go after Lauren Boebert about. Like, for example, her husband allegedly exposing himself to minors at a bowling alley. So, I mean, that's, gross. Now, progressives did respond to this, and this is where what led him to make the apology. As Kenson says, Steve Kenson, suggesting Lauren Boebert has no career options other than OnlyFans is an insult to numerous and savvy professional sex workers using that site, and more of the usual prejudice that sex work is selling your body, while doing body or soul-crushing work for minimum wage isn't. Michael Buckley says, stop making Lauren Boebert OnlyFans jokes. OnlyFans is a platform where creative and hardworking people can make money. Sex work is work. She is a cockroach, cult member, extremist terrorist. Please do not insult OnlyFans. Thank you. Brad says, Lauren Boebert is an irredeemable ghoul, but it's so weird how libs go to the same misogynistic and anti-sex worker wells when they criticize her. Don't they realize that being an OnlyFans model is fundamentally more respectable than being in Congress? Oh, damn. Oh, that's a good one. Cassie, freelance transfiguration specialist, tweets, super cool to see everyone joking that Boebert will have to make a living on OnlyFans after this. Sex work isn't a joke. It's challenging, takes talent, and it's not something to be ashamed of. My friends make a living that way, and they deserve better. And then finally, Ginny Hogan, who is a writer for The Atlantic, tweets this out. This joke about Lauren Boebert joining OnlyFans, if she loses, is so offensive. Creators on OnlyFans work hard and spread joy. Yeah. Now, Lauren Boebert, again, that's the opposite of what Lauren Boebert does. She spreads conspiracy theories and misery to everyone, to all. So, another one here, YouTuber and chef Jerry James Stone tweets, with all the sexist and job-shaming tweets about Boebert losing, there's nothing wrong with being on OnlyFans. There's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. True. Please stop using those examples as a way to disparage her. And Alexandra Hunt tweets, I can't stand Boebert, but this sexism isn't cute. There's no shame in having an OnlyFans. Kurt Bardella, do better. Now, I want to note that someone that laughed at it was Joy Reid. You're a feminist. I think you're supposed to be a feminist, Joy. That is an offensive joke. So why would you let that fly? Now, Claire McCaskill also didn't push back on it, although she looked a little bit surprised. But they said, oh, you're a feminist. Well, look, you can't be a feminist and abandon sex workers. Just saying. Feminism is supposed to be about empowerment. Women making their own choices in their own lives for their own careers. So if you want to be a sex worker, there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't like that and the reason that I bring this up, that I'm actually kind of passionate about this, is the fact that I see so many people that have marginalized sex workers. That leads to an environment for sex workers that is not safe. I want sex workers to be safe. I want them to be protected against abuse and violence that does happen, to be protected against trafficking, and to have legal recourses available to them if they need it without being criminalized. We cannot protect those workers if you continuously marginalize them, mock them, shame them, and criminalize them. And it's gotten to the point where credit card companies refuse to do business with a lot of these sites. Anything that involves sex work. And so you have cut these people off from banking. They've had to go to ridiculous things like, crypto in order to pay for, their services. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. They're cut off from making revenue in safe ways as a result of a lot of this marginalization. So it isn't funny. Now, that said, I want to go to the apology here from Bardella, because, again, he was criticized very harshly for it. In a tweet responding to Hunt, Bardella said this: "I appreciate your feedback, and when someone from your vantage point weighs in, that warrants consideration and reflection. I'll be more thoughtful about my words in the future. It is never my intention to shame women. I apologize, period." He also adds, "There's nothing wrong with consensual interactions on platforms like OnlyFans. Anyone suggesting otherwise in an effort to shame or judge really needs to examine their own perception of women and their autonomy." That said, he added, because since it does deal with Lauren Boebert, you get a lot of right-wingers that are pretending to, be outraged, like, "Oh, how dare you go after Lauren Boebert." But wait, the right wing also loves to criminalize sex work and criminalize women. And in fact, again, eliminating Roe set the stage for sex workers to be even more at risk. Because, if they end up, something happens, they end up, not being able to access birth control, for one, because that's something that Republicans have talked about doing, or, getting pregnant, even being on birth control, they're not going to be able to get abortion services. And that's because of Republicans. So again, if MAGA judges are like, how dare you shame her, sex worker, blah, 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 that's not coming from a good place. So let's be fair. So he says, "We all know that they don't give a rip about sexism, misogyny, or equality. These are hypocrites of the first order," and I agree with that. And he adds, "Just look at their standard bearer, Donald Trump." So look, I read that apology because it's a good one. It is a good apology, and I do like how there was so much pushback from the progressive community, and I think that's a really good sign. That yes, younger people, progressives, they are looking out for women. They are looking out for people in the sex work industry to try to protect them. And that's the right thing to do. Especially, again, if you are claiming to be a feminist. So, look, I don't think Kurt Bardella needs to be, whatever, cancel cultured for this. Because he clearly seems to have learned his lesson. And we all make mistakes, and so I'm willing to let this one go.